السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، نحمده ونسبحه ونقدسه على آلائه ونعمائه، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك وترحم على محمد وآل محمد كأفضل ما صليت وسلمت وباركت وترحمت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. وصل اللهم وسلم على خلفاء نبيك وأوصيائه وأهل بيته وأحبته، علي أمير المؤمنين وقائد الغر المحجلين، وعلى البضعة الطاهرة ابنة رسول الله فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين، وعلى سبطي نبي الرحمة وسيدي شباب أهل الجنة الحسن والحسين عليهما السلام، وعلى علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي، عجل الله تعالى فرجه وسهل مخرجه وجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه. عباد الله، أوصيكم وأوصي نفسي بتقوى الله ولزوم أمره. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في سورة الرعد chapter 13 verse 11: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. صدق الله العلي العظيم. And God would not alter the condition of a people until they change and they alter what is in themselves. And God speaks the truth always. One of the most important duties we American Muslims have in this country, in this land, in this home, is to have a voice, strong voice, is to have a role, is to have a participation in the civic and political process of this country. The civic engagement is one of the important moral and religious responsibilities of American Muslims. My friends, life is not all about eating and drinking and having dinners with the friends and family members and going to baby showers and birthday parties and others. Life is to have a role, is to have a say, is to be influential, is to be respected. So, a Muslim, wherever he or she lives, has to have dignity and honor and value, should not allow others to take advantage of him or her. The first thing we must do, the first thing a responsible Muslim has to have, is to have a political awareness, civic awareness. In this country, my friends, we the Muslims, when we make a decision, it has to be an informed decision based on accurate information, based on facts, not on emotions. When you cast your vote to any person, you have to have awareness about that, awareness about the consequences of this vote. Your vote has a value. Your vote is important. With this vote that you cast, God is going to ask you about it tomorrow. Why did you give your vote to this person, to that person, to this party or that party? You have to answer. It has a value. So it has to be based on informed decision, accurate information, not emotions. We have to know everything that is going on around us. We have to know we cannot close our eyes, my friends. We must be aware of what is going on in our communities, in our societies, in our counties, in our states, in our country, in the nation. We must educate ourselves. This is the difference between animals and human beings. Animals, they don't care. Wherever you put them, on any farm or land or territory you put them, they enjoy it as long as there is food and drink. But we are different. We are different. We search for a place where we enjoy freedom of choice, freedom of religion. We enjoy democracy. We enjoy dignity. We enjoy honor. We enjoy respect. This is important, my friends. As to the Muslim community in this country, I think they are of three groups, main groups. One group are practicing Muslims, faithful Muslims. But many of those believe in isolation, isolationists. They don't believe in the integration in the American life, in the American system, in the political process. They don't believe in that. They consider America to be evil, so let's pull ourselves out of that. Stay away from this, which is not right. In my opinion, this isolation, this self-imposed marginalization is not right, and it is not wise. And it is going to hurt us in the short term and the long term. Some people think all what God wants from them to do, especially the practicing Muslims, is just to perform your prayers, perform fasting, go to Friday prayers, and perform majalis, and that's it. They don't believe in the political engagement, in the civic engagement in this life. And some of them live in this country for many decades, and they are taxpayers. But when it comes to civic engagement, they have zero presence, sub-zero in fact. Until now, when the season of election arrives, we get calls from people. Is it halal or haram to participate in the election? Still, some naive people until this moment, they question the legitimacy of participating in the election. And they are taxpayers. And their kids were born and raised and educated and got married in this country. And they have grandchildren in this country. They are still asking this naive question. Should we go to the ballot box or not? Of course you must go to the ballot box. We are not endorsing this candidate or that candidate. All what we are saying is that you have to have a vote. You have to have a weight. You have to have a value. If those candidates, they know that you are not casting your vote, they would not even care about you. They would not even listen to you. They would not even respect you. So this is one group. And some of them are religious, but they do not believe in the civic and political engagement. Why? Because America is corrupt, and it's better for us to stay at home. كونوا أحلاس بيوتكم. Don't do anything. Don't say anything. until Imam Mahdi arrives, until the Khilafah. Sunnis believe, Shias say about waiting for Imam Mahdi, and Sunnis believe in the Khilafah, the wonderful Khilafah to come back again. And both are wrong. Both are wrong. You should be proactive. Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salatu wasalam wants you to be proactive in your community, in your society. Yes, don't give your vote to the wrong people. Don't give it. Give it to the right people. Encourage your children to be in charge. Many of your children are very competent, very intelligent, very caring, very able, very successful. Encourage them to nominate themselves to participate in this civic and political process in this country. We have some successful mayors. I know them in Southern California. Some of them came 30 years ago, but they are very successful because they are responsible. They want to change their societies and their country and themselves. And they are very successful, and they are very respectful too. People respect you even if they don't speak your language. But when they see you are sincere, trying to help them out, they would vote for you. Because many people are looking for someone who's sincere. So this is one group. The second group are those who are not religious, not practicing. American Muslims who are not practicing, Muslim by name, but they don't believe in Islam. And also there are many of them in the midst of our communities. And many of those people are busy, too busy with their businesses, with their lives, with their families, with their fun, with their parties, and they don't care who wins. They don't care. All what they care about is to make money in this country. They believe in the economic opportunity of this country, but they don't care about the moral condition of this country, of this society. This is why they lost their children. They lost their children. They lost their families. And what is the benefit, according to the Bible? What is the benefit if a person wins and profits the whole world, but he loses himself? What benefit that makes for him? What a profit that makes for him? Nothing. He's empty-handed. You have to gain yourself and your family. قُلْ إِنَّ الْخَاسِرِينَ الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ وَأَهْلِيهِمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. The real losers are those who lost themselves and their families. So that is the second group. And then we come to a group, I would not call them minority. We have also plenty of them. The third group, and those who believe in the integration, in the participation, in the engagement in the civic life and the political life and the economic life and the social life of this country. Because this is the home for them. This is where they settle. This is where they live. This is where they enjoy. This is where they receive education and health care and all other benefits. Yes, they might love their native countries, nothing wrong with that. There are some Irish American, German American, British American in this country, English American in this country, who've been here for over 100 years. They are still connected to their homes, to their native lands, to Europe. They go once in a while. Nothing wrong with that. It's very good for your kids to go back to their native homes. There is no contradiction between loving your original country where you came from and the new country. No contradiction between them. But then, where you live here in America, this is your arena, this is your field, this is where you have to focus on in your work. So this group of responsible people are the one who are civically engaged, and they are aware of what is going on in their neighborhoods. They know the mayor, the police department, the city council members, They know their congressmen and women. They know they are in touch with them. And they try to defend, protect, not only themselves, but their communities too, and their country, ultimately America too. My friends, food, drink, shelter could be found anywhere today on earth. You go to any country today on earth, you can find a shelter. You can find some food and a drink. But dignity, honor, value, freedom, freedom of religion, freedom of choice, political freedom, religious freedom, cannot be found anywhere on earth today. It can't. This is why many of us are here, because of this reason. Religious freedom, political freedom. You have a voice. You do not succumb to a tyrant. You can speak your mind freely. You can oppose. You can agree or disagree with someone in the government, and they don't put you in jail. Dignity and freedom. This is the value of being a human. It's not about food or a drink. Food and a drink are available everywhere on earth today. But dignity is not available everywhere. And we have to build it. We have to maintain it. We have to defend it. It doesn't come free. If you don't search for dignity, if you do not defend and pay for your dignity, you're going to lose it. So you must pay for it. You must sacrifice. You must work for it to earn it, to be able to earn it. And we have to use this freedom in this country to improve the condition of the country itself, America itself, the healthcare system, the education, the security of this country, the poor people who are sleeping in the streets, the homeless people. We have to do something about it. And also to improve the condition of the Muslim community, your family, your community, your society, people that you know, your friends. We must work on that. Participation in election, to me, is really important, is vital and necessary to protect ourselves. We have to do something. Sitting there and just complaining about the situation is not going to help. God says, what is your role? إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Sitting there and just lamenting and complaining and moaning about this injustice here, or this ruler there, or this president there, is not going to help. God says, what is your role? I'm not going to help unless you help yourself first. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ. Truly, verily, God would not alter the condition of any community until they themselves change what is in themselves. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. This is a powerful maxim in the Quran. It's not going to change. Whether you live in America or Europe or India or Iran or Iraq or Lebanon or Egypt or Morocco or South Africa, it's not going to change. You have to do something for yourself. Because here we see the corruption. We see the corruption with these political parties. Many of those senators are corrupt. Many of people in the Congress are very corrupt. Many people in the government are very corrupt. What should we do? We should just sit there and cry and pray, oh God, help us? God says, okay, what is your role? What is your role? Where is your civic engagement? Where is your political engagement? You are only worried about your income and your business and your money? You are not worried about your situation here? You have to do something yourself. Here, One government goes, another one comes. كلما دخلت أمة لعنت أختها. Whenever a new government comes, curses the previous one. And the new one goes, another one would come and keeps cursing and complaining and putting all the blame on the shoulder of the previous one. And that would not stop. Believe me, it would not stop. We should not be very, very hopeful in a new government. Corruption is corruption. Corruption, the society is mired with corruption. People who spend 60, 70 years in the government, they cannot change themselves in 1 or 2 days. But sometimes we have a lesser evil, a lesser degree of evil. But we have to do something to change, my friends. I end with a story that happened in Georgia, the state of Georgia. You know, the state of Georgia has been Republican-led for many decades. But now, on January 5th, 2 Democrats won the Senate seats in the House of Senate. Previously, it has been for Republicans for many decades. You know why this happened? Why the political map was changed in Georgia? Georgia was completely red, absolutely red. It is flipping now to blue. And I am not siding with red or blue. I'm not. I'm just giving you an example of how this change happened and how the state flipped. It's because of a lady 10 years ago, African-American lady, who lost the election. She aspired to be the mayor of the town, and she lost. And then she learned a lesson. She asked, why did I lose? She found out that the majority of people in Atlanta who are African Americans, they don't go to the ballot box. They don't cast their votes. They don't even care about elections because they are so frustrated. So frustrated. They lost all hope in changing the political system. So she started a campaign 10 years ago. And the result of these 10 hard-working years of campaigning to convince the black voters to go to the ballot box, the result of it was, we saw it 3 days ago, on January 5th, when the 2 Democrats, the 2 candidates, won the 2 seats to the Senate. And it is very important. It's very important to have these 2 seats. Very important for the country. This is how things change, my friends. We have to do something about that. Encourage your children. Your son, your daughter can be a mayor. What's wrong with that? She can be in the local assembly, in the city hall, in your own city. She can be in Sacramento. She can be in Washington, D.C. She can be in Albany, working on the state level, local level, national level. Look at Ilhan Omar as an example. Now, whether she's good or bad, I'm not speaking about that. I'm not judging her. I'm not saying anything about her conduct, her personality, but I'm just giving an example. A refugee in a refugee camp in Kenya comes to America, and she works hard. She goes to school. She educates herself. She considers this home is a new home for her because the previous home did not respect her, made her a refugee. خير البلاد ما حملك لا ما حملك. The best land, the best home is the one that contains you and respects you and provides you with opportunities, not the one that overburdens you and tortures you. Live on a land, in a country where you are respected. You are respected. You are free. Freedom is important. And she becomes Congresswoman. Isn't that a huge achievement? Doesn't that tell you that when you work hard, you can be anything you want to be? And you can change the condition of the people. And you can find tyranny through this, not through bombing, not through violence as we saw 2 days ago. Barbaric acts, acts of hooliganism, acts of violence, acts of terrorists are not going to change anything. It is through the political process. There is a gate. وَأْتُوا الْبُيُوتَ مِنْ أَبْوَابِهَا. You enter the house through a certain gate, and you enter this process through a certain channel. Encourage your children. This is our responsibility, my friends, to build a nice community, a peaceful community, an integrated community, a community that works together, a community that loves each other, a community that is progressive, it helps itself, and it is able to help others. May Allah bless you all, inshallah. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات تابع اللهم بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات إنك مجيب الدعوات إنك غافر الخطيئات إنك ماحي السيئات وجاعلها حسنات إنك على كل شيء قدير. Please, I ask you to join me to recite Surah Al-Fatiha for the soul of my first cousin who died a few hours ago, Sayyida Fatima Al-Hussein Al-Milani. Al-Fatiha. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين صدق الله العلي العظيم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله